Welcome to What's New in Revit 2026. We will discuss some key themes and features here, and we will see what's updates with every discipline like the architecture, mechanical, and structures as well, and for the everyday users as well. Okay, let's talk about what Arcans is. So Arcans is the part of French B2B services group, uh, or essentially the Monoyear group. It operates in 19 countries as a part of Arcans group. Our goal is simple, to be trusted partner for digital transformation across industries like construction and manufacturing. We have consultants who really understand the industries and they serve and bring on experience with a wide range of software. That means we can offer practical advice and the right technology solutions to help our customers succeed around the world. And on the top of that, we are proud to be an Autodesk Platinum partner, which shows our deep expertise and commitment to delivering the best digital tool. Yeah, little bit about myself. My full name is Raja Akbar. I'm a technical consultant MEP. I majored in mechanical engineering, then I completed my master's in energy systems. I've been working in the building service industry for over 6 years and primarily as an MEP design engineer. And I've been using Revit for nearly 6 years now. And currently I work at Arcans as a technical consultant MEP, and I'm also Autodesk certified trainer as well. So that's a quick overview of my background. Now let's just take a look at new features in Revit 2026. Okay, so the new features in 2026 fall under these six key themes, which have some new design capabilities, and you'll see enhanced model quality and accuracy, and increased project efficiency, better decision making, and some new features about the improved collaboration and interoperability, and finally the better documentation and deliverables. So we got the list of these new features and enhancement. You will see some core features, some major upgrades regarding the Recap Pro plugin, and some graphics upgrades as well. And the major updates, which are for everyday user, like sheet positioning, custom parameters, schedules, and some enhancement in the sheet list schedules, and all of this stuff as well, which we will discuss in the upcoming slides. Okay, next. So we got again some new features and enhancement about the architecture features, and the major ones that you will see will be regarding the topo solids subdivisions. You will see some new calculation methods are introduced uh, to provide accurate calculations for the topo solids volume, and their shape points. So it will be heavily around the topo solids and some modifications of the walls as well. We'll talk about the structural features as well and the MEP system features in the upcoming slide. You will notice in MEP the enhanced system zones, some better electrical circuit handling with nested connectors, and you will see some new analytical tools like for electrical designers as well. Okay, let's just talk about the core highlight features, the list that we have seen before. And the major one is the recap Revit 2026. In Revit 2026, you will see the introduction of this recap plugin, which introduces a powerful scan to mesh capabilities. Uh, this will enable you to convert the point clouds into segmented mesh models using the local processing. So the plugins offer local processing. When you process that model, you will see that it can be open in the recap mesh editor, which allows you to select the mesh surfaces within your mesh model. And then you can classify them into the sets of groups and layer, and you can clean the mesh before exporting them in different different software or different formats. So there are plenty of formats that can be supported by that plugin, which includes the NWC, which comes from the Naviswork. And if you are using any other software, you can export it to the OBJ. And in addition to that, there is another format for for Revit specifically, and you can export to that format, and then you can link your mesh with the Revit. And later on, the good feature is you can convert the point cloud mesh to your to the families as well. Like you can save them as a family, and in addition to that, you can also, like within the family, you can define that this particular thing is coming up by the extrusion or coming up by the sweep. You can also add connectors to that. So this is really a good update, but it all depends upon how good your scan is. Okay. So furthermore, uh, it is able to be clash detectable in ACC as well. So if you are exporting NWC file, it is automatically clash detectable in ACC. Okay, which is again a very good feature. So I got little bit video over here where you will see here we got the local processing, and we got some options over here where you can select the mesh density as well. And once you select it, you can open the model in the mesh editor. So these are simply the classifications there. You can classify just like it's selecting here, and you can add it to the classifications. And again, it's easier when you export it to the Revit. You can easily classify these as the families. So it's better you do all of those things in Recap Pro before exporting it to the any other software, be it Naviswork or the Revit. So that's the new one, which you will see if you open your Revit now after installing the Revit Recap Pro 2026. So you can link recap mesh models, and you can see it's already linked. Now it's adding to the document like that. And you can select objects, promote to the family, see the family name, use the existing family template or whatever you want to use. Yeah, so that's okay. Let's go next. Again, so we already discussed, like within Revit Family Editor, after exporting your mesh to Revit, you can fine tune objects simply by adding connectors or connection points and define exclusions for those mesh model lines. And you can do the parameters as well. So also for recap files, also work seamlessly with your Autodesk Construction Cloud, like they are uh, automatically flagged as clashable in ACC. So you can run detailed clash analysis between your point cloud and design models. So you don't need to muck around, and you can easily do that clash detection with your point cloud. So meshes that created in the process don't yet support the real world texture, but no worries. It's already on the roadmap of Autodesk. So maybe in near future, you will see those updates as well. Okay. So in Revit 2026, we got introduction of this accelerated graphic tech preview, simply overhauling the graphic pipeline for improved performance and hardware utilization. So this feature will technically allow users to simply toggle on the accelerated mode quickly, and you can see some modern graphics, and you can speedily navigate around your model and make your design reviews even faster. So, yep. And again, I got a little bit video about this, how you can quickly toggle on and all those stuff. You can right click on your screen. you got option there, and you got this option here, which you can quickly toggle on. And you can see this is without accelerated graphics, and this is with the accelerated graphic, which is a lot different than each other. So you can notice the difference between the details with accelerated graphics. Okay, so we have some limitations with um, accelerated Revit graphics, like it supports most geometry, including Revit links, but keep in mind it doesn't support coordination models and point clouds for now. And also the realistic views still show as shaded, and also the drafting patterns or your annotation stuff, you will see they are not accelerated, which means uh, the views with which are heavily annotated might still lag a little bit. Also, the views like your sheets, legends, and drafting views don't fully support this new pipeline. Also, there are some minimum recommendations as well, and make sure you meet those hardware requirements. You must have at least 4 GB of GPU or minimum 16 GB of RAM. So if memory runs low, Revit overall performance could become slow, and your graphic acceleration won't fix that. So make sure before using that, you at least meet these minimum standards. Okay, now the coordination model enhancement. So if you use coordination model enhancement in Revit, and you can now use visibility graphics to override their appearance and colors easily. So you can load multiple models like that and change their colors so that you can quickly determine from where they are coming from. Again, we got a little bit of video here. You already have this idea. It's simply adding the unique colors to your loaded coordination model. So you can simply define, and you can even access their subcategories as well like that. So it's pretty straightforward for everyone. And you can now hide and use these visibility graphics. Okay. So let's now talk about the features which are for users, for day-to-day users, not specific to any discipline. So you will see in this the sheet positioning and other stuff, update on the other stuffs as well. So you can see we now got the previously we had the guide grid for placing the sheets correctly, or aligning them by using the guide grid. Now there's an option in Revit where you can just use your existing sheet or refer to existing sheet and save your existing sheet location or the position. And for the rest of the views, you can simply reuse that save position. So I got a little bit of video here, which is pretty easy. You can see the new ribbon is actually added here. Let me play that. Okay, so you can see the new ribbon is added here. You are in this view, and you can simply save the position, write down the name, and you can simply select the views. And in views, you got those save position parameter as an instance parameter. So you can always select which save position all of your views should follow. And if you change or update your default view, or you change the position, it will going to affect all the views which have the same position parameter defined for them. Okay, so that's this video is showing you. Yeah, you'll notice that all of these will move to top left corner. Okay, so that's pretty quick way to quickly adjust your adjust your placement of the sheets rather than doing it with the guide grid. You can still use the guide grid as well. Okay, so we got few more custom collection parameters and schedule. So in 2025, if you remember, they introduced the sheet collection. Like sheet collection is simply the container that groups together, that groups sheets together for organizational and management purposes. And you will see that this enhancement simply allow you to add custom parameter directly to the sheet collection. So now we have the category of the sheet collection for adding up project parameters. So you can add project parameters and you can even add shared parameters for the category of sheet collection. And this way you can easily control the organization of your project browser, and it gives you more flexibility to control that. And these parameters are also uh, comes up with the schedules as well, and they are also supported in the key schedules. So all parameters that are added to the sheet collection category also supports the association of global parameters. So it's making it more or giving you more control over your drawing. So you can add the global parameters and quickly adjust all your sheet collections or the sheets which are in the collections as well. Let's go next. And again, if you have used sheet list before, there are few enhancements in sheet list schedule, and you will see some new parameters like the sheet width, height, and scale, and another category for the title block. So these are from the sheet list, and you will see another category for title block, and they have added the title block category parameters so they can be built in and shared, and it can be accessed in project and the family spaces as well. Also, they have add a new parameter which is where you can just set a primary title block. So, which simply means if you are in the multi-title block scenarios, like you got the sheet and you have multiple title block, you can set the primary title block, and this primary title block will simply determine where the schedules pull the title block parameters from. So for usually for a single sheet, if your sheet have a single title block, this parameter is automatically set or it is automatically ticked and it becomes a read-only parameter. But if you have the multiple title blocks, let's say, so you can select which title block you want to use as an primary, and this will simply drive your schedule as well. So you got this new parameter option. Okay, and the I will say the most awaited one is title block scale override. Now they you will see type parameters. Type parameter is added in your title block. So if you just click your title block and go on the edit, you will see this parameter, which is the type parameter. And now you can write the value of the scale if you don't want to use the as indicated. Like if you previously, if you were placing multiple views with different scales at the same title block, your scale simply shows the as indicated. So now you can override that as well. Okay. Next, let's go next. And this is about view reference enhancement. We got some view reference enhancement where you can refer to any other view. And again, they have added instance parameter, where you can quickly make changes, give you more flexibility to use your view reference, and these are applicable to all your callout heads, elevation marker, section markers, and the view references as well. Yep, you can see that here. that's the family workflow, how you can add a parameter. It can be the shared parameter or the instance of the type parameter. So yeah, and you can see those parameters here and the instance label on your properties palette as well. So in short, it gives you more flexibility for your view reference. You can easily add labels and control the informations as well. Okay, let's just go next. And this is also a good update. Like if you are using the CAD in your project, like the managed link dialog box will simply show you all imported 2D and link CAD files, and you no longer need to manually hunt for the imported CAD files in the project, as you can easily use this remove and show options directly from the managed link. You just need to right click on it and you can access the that show option and the remove option as well. So it's becomes very quicker. You can quickly find your CAD file location easily. Okay. Again, this is the good update as well. So you can skip the creation of backup folder for link file. So this new feature simply modifies the behavior of Revit when you load work sharing enabled Revit links. Previously, whenever you load your Revit file, that load operation simply trigger the creation of backup folder, even if you haven't modified the Revit link. So this update simply eliminate these unnecessary creation of those backup folders. So you can now get rid of those backup folders and you can simply open your model more quicker than before. Okay. We got some IFC enhancement as well. So you will see they are linking uh, more fast with more 50% fast, and you will see we have introduced some new uh, features for the positioning. So you will see some new positioning. So this feature simply enhance your coordination with external consultant, as they usually use the IFC file. So you can now do more accurate positioning and orientation of your link models. So pretty you can do that pretty quickly instead of doing the manual adjustment. Okay. Again, few more updates, more than 40 I've seen enhancement. You can always check them. You can all those lists are available. So again, a lot of enhancement on the IFC end. Let's go next. So we got some enhancement on Dynamo as well, and and the introduction of the new packages as well. You can check for more details on the Dynamo blog. So you can check for the more details for all these new packages and look for your compatibility information as well. And we got some this QR code. If you just scan it, it simply takes you to the Dynamo blog, and you can learn more about all those stuff. Okay, so Autodesk is simply making it easier for you to define custom element classification. Like in Revit 2026, they renamed them as uh, renamed the Omni class parameter, which was previously Omni class parameter, to the classification number. So you can assign these classifications very quickly, and this is the your family editor window. So you can define your classification number, and yeah, all related to Omni classification and classification. So few more addition, which are again for day-to-day user. You might not use all of these features, but yeah, you got this profile update reminder. It sends you reminder after 60 days, so you can update from your industry, your role here, and you will only see, if you don't want to do it, you can simply skip it. So you will only see this twice a year. So don't worry about that. You will not going to see it after every 60 days or after every time you open your models. Okay, let's go next. And there are some relocations of the bars, and you will see all of this stuff. This is about the array. So we previously got these sequence, and you will see some new control locations. So you will get experience to it when you start using the 2026 versions. Some of the item they have moved from the options bar to this ribbon, and yeah, you will simply experience that. Same goes for here. Some wall related functionalities are also moved to ribbon here, and this shows the complete list of the new control locations. And again, you can always check them. Same goes with the other things, like you will see the dimensions are also relocated to different location. Let me just go next. And again, this is, I would say, this is a fix where your add-ins, you can easily manage your add-ins, like you can better manage them, as now it reduces the risk of add-in interfering with each other. So previously, if your add-ins were interfering with each other and hinder you to use your add-ins, this is a quick fix. They have already fixed that, so you might not see this problem in 2026 versions. Okay, now let's talk about the specific changes to the discipline. So we will see the architecture changes, and again, the most of them are related to the topo solid and the wall changes. So you can see now we can subdivide our subdivisions to negative values as well. So it basically allows you to create recess elements, like you can create the sunken roads, or if you have any landscape beds, and it also supports a positive value, and you can change the material or change the type of that subdivisions from the type selector as well. Okay, let's go next. Okay, you will also see some solid enhancement for improve accuracy with link topography, and this is essentially for civil 3D. Like you can easily link your topo solids from this civil 3D, and they have also reintroduced the algorithm for the volume calculation. So the new algorithm simply, if you read in detail, it simply employs a boundary constraint method, if you want to know about it, and it gives you more accurate volumes calculations. So you can check that. And again, this is also consistent with the previous version. So if you just load your topo surface to the topo solids, you will find that it is also very consistent with your previous versions as well. Okay, so you can link your civil 3D surfaces from the ACC as well. So you can see this is the workflow, and that's a great improvement for linking some civil 3D files, especially when they are coming through ACC docs. So in the past, this flow was not there. Sometimes topography just wouldn't generate properly, especially with the complex surfaces. So that's now been fixed. And the new update makes sure that topo solids created from civil 3D links are much more accurate and reliable. And you will see fewer errors and some better compatibility with the civil and architecture workflow flows like that. Again, the next update is also about topo solids or the topography. So previously, you would have noticed some incompatibility with when you were cutting cutting the void. So now the cut void stability option is added to TopoSolid extended panel. And if you toggle on this one, it ensures that the void cuts successfully by simply leveraging void to slightly shift the geometry along X and Y axis. Like void will automatically adjust itself slightly to ensure that it cuts properly. So when you think that you are working on the complex turbo-solid geometry, make sure you just enable this one and before cutting the void. Okay, let's move to the next. And again, this one is pretty good. Now you can simply copy and paste these slab points. You can easily copy them and paste them. So that's a good one as well. So it also gives you um, you can also adjust the number of points that your toposolid can contain through the configuration files. You can check that on the Autodesk website how you can access those configuration files and change the threshold points or the adjustable threshold points for your toposolids. So finally, you have seen all these TopoSolid enhancements where you can do the subdivisions, recess subdivisions like it accepts the minus value, enhance compatibility with the Civil 3D, and you can bring your TopoSolids from the ACC docs as well. And you have seen the cut void stability and other features as well. So it's heavily around the toposolid stuff. Okay, so here is a quick video over here. Um, just cutting the subdivisions, and you'll see some negative offset over here. And you can see we can create a sunken slab like that or landscape bed for like that. Again, the multi divisions. I'll try to move it a bit faster. In your cut void stability, which you can access from your TopoSolid extended panel, and you can enable them for improved void cutting within your TopoSolid. Okay, and yeah, that's how when you are linking your uh, topography or the TopoSolid from Civil 3D or from ACC with the from ACC, it can be the CAD or it can be Civil 3D as well. Okay, so again, this is same as copying the sub modifier points. You can simply use the Control C and Control V, which is very quick. You can simply transfer your toposolid elevation points very easily. Okay, now the updates are about the walls. So you have see the major updates are on the walls and these stuff. So you can now create walls by room and segment. You can simply place the wall by room. So if you have defined the rooms, you can place them by rooms or you can place them by segment. Like you can select the side of the wall and you can pick and you can simply place the walls. Let's go next. This is also a good one, which you won't see previously, like allow compound structure without core layer. Now you can move all your layers outside the core structure, and simply these features give you the way you can work with compound structure and give you more flexibility. And you can also ensure that your walls joins properly. You can relocate all of your layers to the interior side or the exterior side as well. So it gives you more flexibility and play with these layers as well. Okay, now they have added a new column over here where you can select the priority for your walls, and you can learn more about what is meant by these numbers. So the priority numbers in these compound structures are simply ranging from 1 to 5, and they actually determines which layers connect when the wall intersect. So 1 being the highest priority, so and the 5 being the lowest priority. Okay, so you can check. Let's go next. And some updates for the analysis on the insights. And Insight is now included with your Revit installation, and it offers some powerful tool for energy use and carbon analysis and all those stuff. Some updates again related to GBXML. So if you use the GBXML, you can check those GBXML updates. And yeah, if you use that, again, some interoperability issues were there with the pharma, and now the updates fix all those stuff. So pharma now works even better with Revit. So you can update it, your plugin, and see the more flexible pharma plugin. Okay. Again, twin motion. Let sorry, next. You will see the enhanced family substitution. So in 2026, they improved the twin motion workflow, and especially when using family substitution. So now all Revit categories supports the substitution. So it gives you more flexibility to swap in high quality assets from the twin motion. So just give it a check and see how those substitution settings work. Okay, now let's jump on the structural stuff. I'm talking about that's a new feature, which is a parametric rebar cranking. Cranking until now, adding crank box and Revit usually meant workarounds, or you need to do some manual tweakings to just bend your rebar. And now we got this parametric rebar cranking. I got a small video to show the workflow. Let's go next, and you can see it here. You will see the relevant parameters for the cranking, and you can now define it here, override your crank lengths like that, and also capture them on the schedules as well. So there's a detailed information related to all those stuff on the Autodesk website, what is meant by these parameters. So if you just check that, you will learn more about those parameters related to crank lengths. Going next, yeah, now we got some more flexible control for the fabric sheet wire positions at the cover. You can precisely align fabric sheets and custom fabric sheets to match the concrete cover requirement. So this says to make sure that you comply with your design specification. So this feature simply enhance the productivity for rebar and your precast detailing as well. Okay. And again, the detailing reinforcement just got a whole lot easier. You can now add hooks, cranks, and other end treatments to rebar end with more good workflow. And you will see that there's a new feature called show start and end bar orientation. So it lets you see exactly how the bars are positioned both in 3D views and in 2D views as well. We got some custom steel connections enhancement. So you can now move standalone elements, sketch plates, bolt patterns, and modify properties all within the edit mode. So just give it a check. for more, you can now do all those custom steel connection faster with these new updates. Okay, so I got a little bit of video over here for you to check. So you can see we can now move standalone elements inside the custom connections. And that while being in the edit mode. So you don't need to come out of the edit mode to make the changes. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the new feature in steel modeling. So you will see some precise controls or the precise geometry. So previously, we don't have this option for auto join. Now you got this option. You can now model steel elements exactly point to point for both existing and new elements. And if you need it, you can always switch back to the legacy Revit versions as well. Like you can simply untick them and you can switch back to previous versions. So I'll skip that one. That's the same way you can how to turn on your new feature of auto join and all those stuff. So steel plate default material. So newly created steel plates have now default materials, and if you are using imperial units, you will see some default materials like the ASTMs, and for metric unit, you will see different standards. So make sure these are loaded in your projects. So okay, let's go next. This is again showing the same thing. So I will simply go on. Okay, we have some new parameters like paint area, and the exact weight parameters are now available for all structural steel elements created with shape-driven families. So you will see these parameters in 2026 6 version. And again, this simply enhance the way you design steel and add more details to your steel design structure. And let's see what's in the next. So also there are some improvements in analytical modeling as well. So and this automation simply you can quickly access it and run from the ribbon based on your pre-selected sets of physical objects. So there are still much more to come in this capability. So if you are using some analytical modeling automation, just go and give it a check and try to run and see if there's how does it work for you. So this is the end of the structure, and the last we got the systems. And let's talk about what's the new updates on the MEP side. So on the MEP side, you will see some major updates on the HVAC zones and the system zones. They have been now combined together. So this will simply allow you to be more flexible while using the system zones. And you will see that you can now place your zones by sketch. So you can simply draw a sketch and you can define your zones by space as well. While the previous version doesn't give you this flexibility, now you got this flexibility, and this simply reduces the confusion that was previously there when doing the zoning. Okay. Next is about the global electrical conductors. I'll say that's a good update or the standout updates. Revit now supports the multi-core cables and a feature that the electrical designer around the world would have been waiting for. So in previous version, you would see that Revit only supports the AWG or the American wire gauge system, so which automatically size the conductor for you on the basis of the circuit load. So that was good for the US based projects, but for the rest of the world, not so much. Now you can set and adjust the size of your conductor manually. So it gives you full control how you design your document your electrical systems. And you will also notice some change in the terminology, like your wire type have been replaced with the cable type and the cable size. So to better reflect how cables are specified in the part of the world. And you will also see the old voltage drop field has been removed too. And in its place, Revit now supports more detailed conductor properties. So you can in short, this updates make Revit's electrical tool more flexible, or more globally relevant and more user friendly, especially for the projects which are outside the of the US. Okay, so let's see next. And if you use again, this one is also on the electrical side. If you use the panel schedules, there are now browser organization for the panel schedule, same as the project browser organization. Now you can organize your panel schedules. You have some new options, like can see you have the grouping and sorting, and plus you can now use the project parameters and the shared parameters within panel schedules to customize the way you want to organize your data. So the bottom line is, MEP users or the electrical user have much more control and clarity uh, when it comes to organizing electrical equipment and keeping panel schedules neat and accurate and easy to work with. So, yep, let's go next. Again, we got some new updates on the calculation methods. Again, on the electrical side, in 2026 version, uh, basically it lets you choose how apparent power is calculated for analytical components. You can set it to assume a power factor of, let's say, one, regardless of what's defined in your loads. So again, this give you more flexibility, and you can do your own calculation. It simplify your calculations, especially in the early design stages. So you can now use your own power factor or override it. Okay, so improve design continuity between circuits, spares, and and spaces. So you can now apply shared parameters across circuit spares and spaces all at once. So this way you can make your schedules more consistent. And for the circuit naming scheme, you can use project and shared parameters, including including two spares and your spaces as well. So now spares and spaces are also included in the circuit schedule, and you can your empty circuits, like if you have the empty circuits in your model, you'll see that you can even empty circuits are now converted to spares automatically. So if you remove the last connection, your empty circuits will move directly to the or converted directly to the spares. So so all of this basically offers you the increased efficiency and consistency when you're working with the circuits, and especially for electrical designers. Okay, again, Next is also about the circuits. Now you will see that your circuit path is now able to recognize nested families. This means Revit can now automatically find and connect to the correct location of the nested electrical components, and this saves you time. You don't need to do any workarounds and all this stuff. So just going on the next, some changes on the tags and schedule part. Again, distribution systems and part type are available in view filters. You will see them in electrical equipments to better support your documentation stuff and all those things. And some, let's go next and see the new feature in MEP. And you will see that the MEP categories display improvement. Like you will find that the categories like food service, your medical equipment, and fire protection and audiovisual and these signage are now fixed. These elements now display consistently in MEP views, just like the other MEP categories. Like they won't be showing up as an underlays or half tone. So also they will clearly appear in your plan views, even if they are not cut by the view range. So this makes your coordinations more easier. So go and just give it a check. Just few more slides left, then I'll take some few questions. Okay, so editing coefficients of analytical segments, you can see some updates on the analytical segments like your your loss coefficients and pressure drop values. So dynamo nodes have also been added to help develop automation workflows using the calculations method. So you can develop your dynamo script to streamline all of your analytical calculation stuff. So this will definitely going to help the engineers to determine the pipe sizing or deck sizing, or perform their pressure loss calculations very quickly. Some updates on the fabrication side, and you will see improved from the manufacturer perspective and user control with step down connector. So the new step down extension parameter is added, which provides independent control from the straight connector, and it allows the parameter from the connector breakpoint table to be combined. So it's there just to reduce the irregularities in output, which require the manual adjustment for the pattern development. So you will see now more consistent behavior. And lastly is also on the fabrication side, you will see the new MEP content editor, and it now includes a preview of connector. So you can, before loading your connector, now you can preview uh, your connectors so that you can see whether you are loading the correct one or not. So it is also possible to create a thumbnail from the active preview to enable visual identification in these tabular form. So bottom line is, again, it's give you the improved efficiency when you need to assign the connectors to parts in the new MEP content editor. So this is all about all of this stuff, and this is from me today, all about the updates with 2026 feature. Go and check out all those new features. And again, if you still got the questions, you can always reach out to us through our website and email, and we will be happy to answer your question. So have a great day ahead, everyone. Goodbye.